Hey everyone, I'm Sue Polston, the Executive Director of Sunrise Community for Recovery and Wellness. This past year felt a lot like a recovery journey, full of challenges and grief, but also growth and resilience. Things got really hard, from Hurricane Helene to the threat of major federal funding cuts. But through it all, our commitment to our mission never wavered. With your support, we provided authentic peer support over 40,000 times. We hosted 250 people at the Asheville's first 3-day conference of its kind since 2018. We moved our drop-in center to a much bigger space and got critical relief supplies to thousands of people affected by the hurricane. In this video, you'll hear about our programs and the powerful impact they've had on our community. None of this would be possible without you and our amazing staff of over 50 certified peer support specialists. Your support makes this life-changing, life-saving work happen, and we are so grateful to have you in our corner. As we look ahead, we're more determined than ever to break down stigma, barriers, advocate for our peer support and harm reduction, and to make sure everyone has access to the dignity, compassion, and basic needs that we all deserve. There's still a lot of work to do, but we are ready to take it on in 2025.
Thank you!
I'm Josh Morrow. I am the RCC coordinator of the Sunrise Drop-In Center. We are a place where we support growth and connection here every day with our peers. We offer a safe space where people could come in and just be. There's no requirements. We meet people where they are at. We truly believe in a harm reduction style with a drop-in center. So if people are still actively in addiction, are still actively having mental health crises, we will support them there. We don't, like I said, we don't do no requirements. We don't ask nothing to nobody. The only things that we ever ask are, we have a safe space agreement, and that's because we are a safe place. We want people to feel safe and be safe here. But that is pretty much what the only requirement that we have at the Drop-In Center. We love people and we want people to be seen. We want people to feel loved no matter where they are in life. We all that work here have been there. We are all a peer-led organization. So we understand what it feels like to face daily challenges. Every challenge is different, everybody's situation is different, and we see that and we respect that. So we want to greet people with love and want people to feel good energy when they come in here, because we view it as this is one of the first places that people will come, and we feel if we make an impact with them, whether it be one day or 5 years, we feel that we can make a connection and help people get to the next step where they want to be, not where we want them to be, but where they want to be.
My name's Kate Promer. I'm the Training and Education Coordinator for Sunrise Community for Recovery and Wellness. So a quick overview for getting your certification with the NCC PSS is to take our Peer University. That's the first step. That has it has 20 contact hours. And then it's a pipeline right into our 50-hour class that is accredited by the state. The 50-hour class in Peer University will give you everything that you need to send in your application to become a certified peer support specialist with North Carolina. Lived experience is the first step to becoming a peer support specialist. We then offer very specific training to give you tools that you can use as a peer support. All of our trainings are accredited by the UNC School of Social Work at Chapel Hill. Some of the different barriers that people experience when they're looking for a career is possible justice involvement. Being involved with some sort of court case, or even having, again, a rap sheet that can really hinder you from being able to find what someone would consider a mainstream profession. It allows us to remove barriers and to create a pathway to a career for so many people that never thought that they would ever be able to have a career or a profession.
All right, hey, so my name is Josh Hampton. I coordinate the problem gambling program here at Sunrise Community for Recovery and Wellness. So basically, the idea of the problem gambling program, first and foremost, is to raise awareness that problem gambling is an addiction very similar to substance use disorder or alcohol use disorder. And really just let the community know that there are resources available if you're an affected other, family member, or if you're an individual that struggles or identifies as having a problem with gambling. We want to let people know that we are here and there are other resources available. We've done this through building a presentation we call Problem Gambling 101. Is meant to share awareness education and prevention efforts with the community. We have a problem gambling harm reduction presentation that was shared at the National Council for Problem Gambling Convention in San Diego in July of 2024. So we have taken the program on a national level. So Sunrise is a peer support provider for the North Carolina Problem Gambling Program's helpline, which means we take calls and referrals for individuals who are interested in peer support or recovery coaching. One of the first peers that I supported, and again, this connection was made through the outreach efforts, it was an individual who came to a Problem Gambling 101 presentation. They were there, and immediately following the presentation, we met. This individual was really distraught. They had gotten themselves in a really tough spot in life, nearing the age that they wanted to retire, and the 401k was completely gone. Everything they had saved up was gone from gambling. And so we were able to connect this individual with our housing program here at Sunrise. We're able to get them in and work with one of our recovery housing providers that wouldn't normally accept anybody who's not struggling with either alcohol or drugs, but they made an exception. They let this individual in the recovery house, and this person has been thriving ever since. That they got a job, they've maintained stable housing, they have a vehicle, they're paying all their bills, and they've remained free from a bet for this entire time, which is actually most of 2024.
My name is Kelsey, and I'm a peer support specialist and a housing navigator for Sunrise.
My name is Kaylee, and I'm a peer support specialist and a housing navigator for Sunrise as well.
So our housing program here at Sunrise, we support people in early recovery and folks that are seeking sober living, halfway housing, or transitional living. We support people whether they are coming off the street, whether they're coming out of detox treatment, out of jail or prison. Typically, we try to help people with their first 2 weeks of rent, because financial issue is a barrier, clearly in early recovery.
So typically when people enter our program, they have necessities that need to be met, and we try to help them the best way we can. Usually the main necessities are getting a phone, ID, food stamps. A lot of people lose their birth certificates or social securities, and we do help get those back for them.
The houses that we put our participants in are vetted and screened houses that Sunrise has approved. And we schedule a house visit, so Kaylee and myself will go visit the house, take a tour, make sure that things are in order. And then we will also routinely visit that house just to keep in contact. We like to keep a close relationship with the house owners and the house managers so that we feel comfortable sending our participants into those houses and making sure that they are safe environments. So probably about 1.5 years ago, I had a woman reach out to me that had just recently got out of prison 2 days prior. And she was trying to find somewhere to live, a job, trying to get back on her feet. So she really wanted some support. So I became her peer support. We got her moved into a sober living. And within a few days, she had started a job. And she's even been promoted to kitchen manager. Where we were able to support her with getting her laptop to be able to fill out her work schedules properly. She then, recently this year, was nominated as Employee of the Year, and her work has also began to pay for her to go back to school at AB Tech for culinary. She's still living in the sober living that she started out when she came straight out of prison. She's thriving, and she has told us multiple times how grateful she is for Sunrise's support through this whole process.
My name is Jonna Bach, and I am with the MAT Medication Assisted Treatment Program at Buncombe County Detention Facility through Sunrise. Medication assisted treatment is an opioid type medication that binds to your opioid receptors, but is able to provide for you a very stable life when you are taking it. It helps with cravings a lot. It helps with things like sleep. It helps with anxiety. People who stay on MAT for a few years have a very, very good chance at never returning to use with opiates. And upon their release, they are able to get 5 days worth of medication, which we are able to, within that 5 days, get them a bridge prescription to make them to their next doctor's appointment before we get them into a clinic, which we often try and get them into very low barrier clinics that are very close by, and have them enrolled in Medicaid so their appointment is very cheap and their medication is very cheap. We also provide transportation to the appointment if they need that. During their incarceration, the folks that identify as having opiate use disorder, the people on our MAT program, we provide group classes for them. I do 2 a week. They're both on women's units, where I sit with them for an hour, and we do. I personally do MARA meetings, which is Medication Assisted Recovery Anonymous. I also attend something called Power Hour, which is once a week for an hour, where anybody that is a peer support specialist is able to come down onto the units and just spend time with the participants and talk about recovery, talk about how you got to where you're at. And I've had a lot of very powerful interactions that way. Yeah, upon their release from the facility, they call us, and we go from there in getting all of their needs met. We are able to provide for them transportation to and from appointments, things like doctor's appointments, court, probation. I took someone to look at a camper they wanted to purchase. We're able to provide really solid peer support for them. Essentially, if they want my help, I can give them almost everything that they need to start over, even if they don't have money. So I have written down about 25 success stories in my 1.5 years at the facility. And one of my favorite ones, his initials are JD. And he was somebody who identified as having opiate use disorder, had spent, most of his 45 years of life in and out of jail and in addiction. And at this point had finally decided to do something differently. When he got out, he called me, and we were able to get him into a sober living. We were able to fund it for quite some time for him. He was able to make it into drug court, which is a super successful program. A lot of my successful participants are in drug treatment court. We were able to get him a phone, get him Medicaid, get him rides, get him clothing, food. I have helped Jeremy with everything I possibly could have. And he is actually on his way to becoming a peer support.
My My name is Mindy Wright, and I am a certified peer support specialist at Sunrise Community for Recovery and Wellness, and they also allow me to be the program coordinator for the Foothills Recovery and Employment Ecosystem, or FREE, as we like to call it for short. The Foothills Recovery and Employment Ecosystem is a collaborative effort to bridge the gap between substance use recovery and sustainable employment. We are working together to ensure that individuals in recovery have access to the support, skills, and resources they need to find and maintain meaningful work. FREE was created in response to a needs assessment conducted in Rutherford, Polk, McDowell, and Cleveland counties, which identified a critical gap in services. Many rural counties lack the resources that urban areas like Buncombe County offer. Often, individuals in recovery are referred outside of their home communities, which can be a major barrier. Many want to stay and work where they live, but lack access to employment, transportation, or necessary support services. At the same time, many local businesses are struggling to find workers. The FREE program helps connect job seekers in recovery with employers willing to create supportive, recovery-friendly workplaces. By doing this, we're not just helping individuals, we're strengthening our local economy and building healthier, more resilient communities. FREE operates by connecting individuals with peer support specialists, who are people with lived experience in recovery and will help guide participants through challenges such as connecting to supportive services, accessing vital documents like a driver's license or ID, getting job training and placement assistance, connecting with recovery-friendly employers who understand their needs. FREE is a collaborative effort, and one of the ways we make an impact is through strong partnerships. Relationships are the key. We hold monthly cohort meetings with community leaders, businesses, and social service organizations to do things like share ideas, identify barriers to employment, and develop strategies to improve support systems. Many individuals in recovery face major challenges when they are trying to re-enter the workforce, including things like stigma. They also might come across a challenge like lack of housing, childcare, or transportation. Without these things, you all know it's hard to maintain a job. There also might be gaps in employment history. Job seekers might need extra support and training to re-enter the workforce. To address these challenges, FREE and some of our partners like Recovery Friendly North Carolina through Wilkes Recovery Revolution and WCI, we're providing training and education for employers on becoming recovery-friendly workplaces. We also connect participants to existing community services. So instead of sending them out of the area, we help them find support locally. We're already seeing real change in our communities. More employers are starting to be open to hiring individuals in recovery, and more participants are beginning to successfully find stable employment. We're also breaking down silos between counties. Instead of relying solely on urban centers like Asheville, we're helping rural counties support their own residents, which in turn creates a stronger, more connected recovery network. One of the most powerful aspects of FREE is getting to see individuals regain stability, confidence, and a sense of purpose. We're working with people who at one point felt very stuck in their circumstances, but through FREE, they're finding meaningful leads on jobs, supportive employers, and getting a renewed sense of direction. The most important thing to remember is that recovery and employment go hand in hand. When we support individuals in finding stable and meaningful work, we're not just helping them, we're strengthening our communities, supporting businesses, and reducing the cycle of substance use disorder.
Hello, my name is Sharia Gettings, and I'm the Blair H. Clark Respite Coordinator for Sunrise Community for Recovery and Wellness.
Hi there, my name is Marco Rodriguez, and I am with Respite Outreach with Sunrise Community for Recovery and Wellness.
At our respite center, we offer 7 nights of rest and connection, emotional support, and resource navigation to our guests. We have up to 4 guests per week, and this program is totally free. There is no cost, no charge. The intentions of respite is to reduce hospitalizations due to mental health crisis.
I do the respite outreach, so I'm out in the community providing help with our peers that come into respite. If they're needing a ride to come to respite on the day of their intake, taking them to their doctor's appointments, anything that they need, because transportation can be a struggle at times when it comes to our peers that come in. So it just eases their mind knowing that we have that for them.
We provide all the basic needs while our guests are here. So if a person comes in with nothing, they can be comfortable here. We can provide them with clothing as well as hygiene and food.
We have several old friends that come in and just say that they're happy to be here because they have that sense of security, that sense of safety, that sense of care, compassion that we provide here at Respite.
All of our guests have their own bedroom while they're here, a full-size bed, dressers, a lockbox where they can store their medications. Here, our folks are allowed to come and go as they please. They can maintain their daily lives, daily schedules. If they work, they can come and go.
So out of all the programs in Sunrise, our program is staffed 24/7, open on holidays, open 7 days a week, and it's all peer certified run. So we're all peer support specialists with lived experience, that are here in the house.
So I wanted to share one of our success stories with everyone. This is in his own words. When I arrived at Respite, I was beat down and was out of hope and at the point of exhaustion. During my stay, the staff were kind, helpful, and caring. They helped me find a nonprofit called the Garage Goblins for free auto parts and helped me with my ID and other resources. It was the quietest, most peaceful place and exactly what I needed to recharge my body enough to get back out there and keep fighting my way back to a better life. And not to mention the hope they gave back to me. The house and staff were truly a godsend, and I can't tell you how much they helped me and how much I appreciate their help. I hope I'm lucky enough to come back for another stay. You can't put a price on what the whole experience did for me. Thank you from the bottom of my heart.
I'm Lance Corner, and I'm the lead regional RCC coordinator.
My name is Lionel Hightower, and I'm also a RCC regional coordinator.
RCC is a recovery community center, and it's a peer-led organization where participants can come and just get services and support.
As an RCC coordinator, we provide technical assistance to 13 counties in the western region of North Carolina, and we also provide the pass-through funding.
Pass-through funding is a grant that we receive to find, fund, and help support smaller communities in Western North Carolina to get their own RCC started. I think RCCs are important, in especially small communities, because it's like a hub for people in recovery or people interested in recovery to come and learn about resources in the community and get support from people who have been through similar experiences. So aside from the pass-through funding, the ongoing support that we provide is technical assistance, and that can look like just emailing to see how things are going. Maybe people have questions about group ideas or problems that they're having at their center. And we also have the cohort meeting once a month where all of us come together, and it gives everybody an opportunity to kind of bounce those ideas off of each other. So all of the RCCs that we're funding and supporting are also supporting each other. And then Every couple weeks, we try to schedule a site visit with a different one. Since there's 13, we usually visit each one twice a year. So we're not replicating Sunrise in another community. They're creating their own RCC of how that's going to fit in their community.
What I love about my job is being able to go to all these different centers and seeing that they aren't all the same. Being able to connect with different communities and seeing how different the culture is a beautiful thing. And we also learn from these other RCCs. It's a two-way street. It's not like we just give and provide all this technical assistance and funding and that's it. You know, we go there and they might have something going on in their center that might be beneficial, something that they've worked out through trial and error, and it might be helpful for us or helpful for another RCC. So just that community and connection between multiple RCCs is a beautiful thing.
So we're always continually looking for new counties who would be interested in funding and support. So that looks like doing outreach and talking to other organizations in different counties to see if there's somebody in that county who would be interested in doing peer support, recovery, community center work.
Hello, my name is Tyler Grooms. I'm the coordinator for Peers on the Move. Peers on the Move is a program designed to reach out into rural parts of the counties to provide resources that they may have limited access to. We provided our participants with social determinants of health, helping them acquire cell phones, work clothes, medication. We always carried items for emergency help like Narcan, tents, sleeping bags, hygiene supplies. We were also able to offer transportation to peers to make accessing resources more attainable. We helped people get into sober living houses and assisted them with finding jobs. We were able to witness amazing success stories of people getting their children back, others getting certified for great jobs, and some just getting off the streets and getting their life back on track.
My name is Bumper Smith. I'm the program coordinator with the Chickasaw-Donnellon Cherokee Reentry Team. Our program seeks to support individuals who are justice involved with substance use and mental health challenges on the Qualla boundary. Although our focus is with EBCI tribal members, we do support other individuals who are not, yet may have other connections to the boundary. Our partnerships include the Cherokee Indian Hospital Authority and the EBCI Justice Department. All right, so a typical day, we spend a lot of time in the court and identify individuals who may need recovery and mental health support. We visit them in jail. We provide cell phones, clothes, connections to food resources, transportation to hospital appointments, probation check-ins, court dates, and transitional housing, and just peer support, just holding a safe space for people to be who they are so we can meet them where they are. Supporting people that are in jail through visitation. We establish a relationship to build off of. We identify needs that a person may have and work towards a plan through repeated visitation. And upon post-release, we will meet with them and follow up with them and help them get connected to the resources that are available and that they may need. It's important that we meet with them where they're at, especially while they're in jail. Most of us know each other. Most of us have even spent a little time together in jail. And so having even a sort of kinship in our old lives, it can help us build those relationships with people in recovery. I think the most important thing is that they can trust what I'm saying. They know that I'm not just making stuff up. They can trust that when I say I've utilized these resources in my own life and have been successful with them, that the possibility for them too is there.
My name's Marissa Bradley, and I'm a peer support specialist for the Cherokee Reentry Program, Chickasaw-Donnellon. I met a female participant in the Cherokee jail. She had multiple pending charges. She was in an abusive relationship. She would get out of jail and have returned to uses, would get picked back up in different counties for failure to appears or new charges. We worked together and I supported her, and she decided she wanted to go to treatment. She graduated from treatment, relocated to transitional housing, and is doing so well. She's coming up on her year of recovery, attended classes, groups, conferences, has a vehicle to drive, she works 2 jobs, has all of her charges from here, all of the surrounding counties taken care of, and she is living a beautiful, successful life.